Today's video is about how you don't need to go out and buy one of those crazy expensive van setups. You can actually convert the car that you have today with a small amount of expense into a road trip ready machine. These are some of the tips and tricks that we learned from 4 months of being on the road. Going on a 4-month road trip was bar none the best decision I have made in my entire life. One of the key factors in making a long-term road trip super affordable is lowering your sleeping costs, because aside from food, sleeping is gonna be your next major cost. Some of these campsites can get up to like $30, $40 a night, and if you're on the road for months, that adds up insanely fast. So if you're new to the channel, we actually built a sleeping platform in the back of the RAV, and you can check out a bit more details on that in the previous video I made. But the basic gist of it is that it's a platform that's raised up from the base of the car, and it folds out so that we can have a comfortable sleep, because I'm like 6 feet tall. I can't like curl up in the back of a car and sleep like that for 4 months. It's not gonna work out. So it's just wood with hinges that folds out, and I have to admit, this was a lifesaver. Being able to sleep in your car every night means you're not only sleeping free, but the accessibility of free places to sleep just skyrockets. I'm gonna make a video on this in the future about how we found free campsites, but when you're sleeping in your car versus sleeping in a tent, or even paying for car camping at these campsites, you can sleep in Walmart parking lots, you can sleep in truck rest stops, you can boondock in forests and on crown land. It just blows your opportunities for sleeping out of the water compared to some of the other options. One of the major things we noticed when we first tested out the sleeping platform, though, was that we needed a bit more privacy. You're gonna be sleeping in your car, and odds are if you're on the road for a while, your car becomes kind of your safe haven. It's the only space that's really yours, and so you want to be able to kind of close yourself off to the world at the end of the day and feel like you're not only safe, but you also have a good amount of privacy. To solve this issue, we actually went out to the dollar store and bought shower curtains, which probably costs around $2 each, and we also got some hemp rope. So every night what we would do is, once we had the bed set up and we were on the inside, we would set up these curtains, and this was a super cheap way to give us some privacy from the rest of the world. I remember at one point, I don't know if you guys have seen the website, the people of Walmart, where people are just wearing ridiculous things. I feel like I have a better understanding of those people now, at least if they were road tripping. I remember waking up one morning and my hair was like everywhere. I just looked like Chewbacca, and I was in like my boxers with no shirt on, standing in the middle of this Walmart parking lot. So privacy is important for sure. Another thing is, if you are traveling in the summer, cars get really hot on the inside, so you're gonna need some kind of ventilation of some sort. At the beginning of the trip, we decided to just crack the windows until we got to our first destination, which was Killarney. And if you're from Ontario, you know that Killarney is the worst place for mosquitoes and black flies. So we would crack the windows at night, and there would be flies and mosquitoes getting into the car, just these little buzzing demons, and they just chewed us up. Alana at one point had like bites all on her face, like swollen lymph nodes, some kind of like black fly fever. It was not a good time. So as soon as we got to the next town, we went out and bought these bug screens and this weatherproof Velcro, and that allowed us to attach screens on the inside of the windows. So that way, if it was ever hot in the car at night, we could crack the windows and we could have the peace of mind knowing that bugs weren't getting in and eating us alive at night. So that was another key tip that was super important and just made sleeping in the car that much more enjoyable. I highly recommend it. Third tip, fourth tip, I don't know what tip I'm on now, but if you have gone on a road trip before for more than a weekend, you know that it is a tiny space, and with tiny spaces comes the problem of organization. It only takes like one morning of disorganization and your entire mobile home is just covered in all kinds of clothes, like utensils, toiletry stuff is everywhere. It just gets gnarly so fast. What we found super helpful on the road trip was having some kinds of bins or totes to store all of this stuff in, and we could kind of categorize or literally compartmentalize all our different stuff. We went out to Home Depot and bought these, I think they're like 70 something liter blue totes. They cost around $6 each. By the way, I'll link anything that's available on Amazon below if you guys are interested in buying it. But yeah, these things were probably like $5 each, and they were a lifesaver. So we had one bin for our foods. Let's be honest, it was mostly ramen. In the other bin, we had our cooking utensils for cooking more ramen. In the third bin, we had our clothes. And in the fourth bin, we had our toiletries. And these all fit nicely. I actually designed the sleeping platform around these bins, so that way we could slide them in and out depending on what we needed. This was amazing for food, because if you're getting hungry, and we both get hangry real quick, and fighting on the road is not a good thing. So we needed quick access to that food, whether it's just trail mix or something to tide us over, or whether we're cooking. Having the bin slide in and out was super handy and avoided a lot of those hangry situations. So all in all, with all these things put together, we not only had an amazing amount of space left over in the car to throw all of our stuff in, but we also had a very safe and comfortable place to sleep at the end of the day when you're tired coming back from hikes and you just want your privacy. You know, sometimes we would crawl in and we would just set up the curtains and we'd watch like Netflix on your phone, because when you're living on the road, you need those creature comforts to keep you happy and just raise the spirits from time to time. So when you throw all of these tips together, you get a sweet road tripping rig for what was probably around $200, maybe $250 at most. It's way, way more affordable than going out and buying a Westphalia. And I've seen this setup accomplished in a Honda Fit. And that was actually when I first decided that I wanted to make a sleeping platform, was because I saw it done in a tiny car. So I knew it was possible pretty much in any car at that point. Anyways, I hope you guys like seeing this road trip setup. I hope it gave you guys a little bit of information and inspiration so you can get out on the road, because it is absolutely life-changing and I would recommend it to anyone. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It means a ton to me. And if you want to see more of our road trip, I actually vlogged every single day of it, so I'll link it up here. And I'm still ongoing with these. I think I have like a month left of editing to do for these vlogs, so there's still gonna be plenty of new content. So hit that subscribe button, follow along, and most of all, happy hiking, guys. Oh, hey there. Welcome to my humble abode. Today I'm going to show you how I'm turning this into my home for the next 4 months. So for any of you guys that missed out, I'm basically building a table in the back of my car where stuff goes underneath and people go on top. First things first, let's go to the store to get our parts. So we've got 2 big pieces of plywood. That's 4x4, and that's 3/4 inch thick. So that'll be the main bed of it. Then as we go over here, we've got galvanized metal pipes that are 3/4 inch. Those 2 are 18 inches, and then these 3 over here are actually 24 inches. The reason for that is because I took the seats out, so I need these longer poles for where the seats once were. Then here are all the mounts. So these are just standard pipe flanges. You'll find them at like plumbing hardware stores. So basically those pipes screw into these flanges, and then I will screw in these flanges to this board here. And so each pole has 2 of these flanges. And then we got some screws. Here we got 2 hinges. These hinges are going to be for the headrest portion of it, so that it can flip up when we want to use the seats for driving and need a bit more space, and then flip down at night when we're using it to sleep on. Got a couple bungee cords and hooks. These are going to be used to put tension on the sleeping platform so that when we're driving and there's bumps, it's keeping it stuck to the car bed. Alright, so now it's time to toss the board back here and figure out some dimensions, and then I can start assembling things. This is the part that I haven't quite figured out yet. It's getting this thing in the car. It's going to be a little bit higher than this. It's going to be raised up a bit, but that's kind of the idea. What? I don't want to hit them. I'm scared. It's a whole new day. Wait, 1 sec. So day 2 of working on the sleeping platform. Day 1 kind of flopped a little bit when I got the wrong size beams for the supports, but I went to the hardware store last night and we're good to go now, so let's resume building, and hopefully by the end of today it'll be sleepable. Here's the basic idea. As you can see, it's definitely on a downward slant right now. With some blocks of wood under it, it's looking pretty level. So now I'm going to start marking where I want the supports and start building this thing a little bit. Screwed on all of the flanges to their supporting platforms, and now is the moment of truth, at least with the first section of it. Hey! It holds me. It holds both of us. Alright, so what I've done now is I've cut out this strip. It's about 6 inches wide. Very poorly cut out, if I might add. But it doesn't really matter because this is more of just like a functional piece. It's going to go under the sleeping platform. It's going to have a bit of an overhang, and that's what the headrest that flips down is going to rest on. No, it's starting to rain. The 2 sets of legs are good to go. I tested the height, and now it's time to start assembling the second piece. Bit of a sneak peek of what it's going to look like. So both these triangle legs are going to fold inward. They're going to be on hinges, and then this whole thing is either going to be on a hinge, or I'll have some kind of system where we can fold it up and then bolt it down so it doesn't move while we're driving. Kind of looks like one of those TIE fighters from Star Wars. Pew, 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 pew. It is a brand new day again. Unfortunately, when I was working on the platform last night, there was a huge thunderstorm. Stuff was blowing all over the place. I was getting rained on. It was raining sideways. It was nuts. So I didn't get a chance to fully assemble it and film it. I woke up this morning, I put some final touches on it, and now it is good enough for the road trip. So I'm super excited about this. Check this out, guys. Oh yeah, so excited. I think this worked out pretty nicely, if I do say so myself. I'm pretty pleased. There's still a couple little things that I need to do, but the bulk of the work is done. Added benefit, the sunroof is like right here, so at night, hopefully we can do a bit of stargazing. This thing is gonna go on its maiden voyage this weekend. We're going to Algonquin to do a combination of sleeping in our car with some day hikes, and then as well as a backcountry night, just for one night to test out our gear and kind of gain our bearings a little bit when it comes to backcountry stuff. Stay tuned for that. That's going to be coming out Tuesday on the vlog. If you like my videos, as per usual, feel free to subscribe. I really appreciate the support, and there's going to be plenty of adventures happening in this car. It's happening, guys. Things are coming together. This just brings like a little kid smile onto my face. I'm so excited for all the adventures to come. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks again for watching.